Welcome, YouTube land. Once again, another show of prolific expression. I have one brother with me right now, Marcelo. Oh, salute to the strong man. It's always great to have brothers here. Wait a few minutes, YouTube land. Welcome, like I said. Another show of prolific expression. Today, I'm going to speak on, what was it? I forgot. Expression. Jesus. Start a few minutes right here. YouTube, every time I start, I turn on an incense to pay respects to all the people that have done it before me. Welcome, YouTube land. Like I said, this is the #1 station where you can express yourself. Right now, I am expressing myself and the founder of IMC Nation, AZD. He does not call me up and say, hey, Jose, Mr. Guerrero, you can't say this, you can't say that, you can't do this, you can't do that. This is an expression of myself and my essence without any censorship. However, I'm an intelligent human being that seeks truth. Just like all my brothers here in IMC Nation, we're all here to seek the truth. We're all here to question everything and find the truth for ourselves. Now, I'm going to start in a couple minutes now. Feel the music a little bit. Okay, here, let's see here. Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Could you hear me, brothers? Thumbs up, anybody? Yeah, there we go. Let's see here. Sure. There you go. All right, welcome everybody to another episode of. Let's see. To another episode of Prolific Expression, where you could express yourself as a human being and not be censored here. Like I said, the founder of IMC Nation, Mr. AZD, does not call me up to tell me, hey, Jose, Mr. Guerrero, you cannot speak on this, you cannot speak on that, you could only say this, you could only say that. I'm here to freely express what I've my experiences, and what we do here in IMC Nation is seek the truth or look for the truth and truth is truth. You can't deny it. We question everything pretty much, and we'll provide you with information, and now it's up to you. Oh shit, let me hit record. Hey, we forget sometimes. Anyways, welcome everybody once again to Prolific Expressions. We are here. I'm here to speak on truth. Here in IMC Nation, truth is seeked upon. Truth is one of the things we go out there and do research to figure out the truth for ourselves. Just because someone says it doesn't mean it's true. We ourselves, we question it. We look at the question, we do some research, and we go out there and we figure it out. And then we find out if it's true or not. So I wanted to speak on a little bit on that. And also I want to speak on how did I find my expression. There's many ways you can find your expression. So I'm going to speak on the way I found my expression. And I'm sure many brothers have found their expression through the same thing. There's a book out there called, let me see the title real quick. All right. It's the, how do you call it? The guy who, the coach for Michael Jordan. It's very Winning by Tim S. Grover. And one of the things that he says in the book is, what's the one thing you do in order to become successful or whatever? Well, I'm going to tell you what's the number one thing to find your expression here. And he says everything is number one. An example, the Beast process. This is a process where you begin to work on yourself, and in doing so, you're going to find your own expression, and you're going to learn about yourself and figure who you are. And number one, we start with a wake-up call. Have a wake-up call, whatever time it is. And here's what I learned from Tim Grover. Number one, you start with a wake-up call. Number one, you start with a cold shower. Number one, you have a process, as in you could put music on or whatever. Number one, you have a workout routine. Number one, you like I said, you have a process, you work on yourself. Number one, you do your stoicism, your studies. Number one. So pretty much everything you do is number one. That's what I learned from that book, reading that book with Tim Grover. There's not one set thing that you're gonna do and think you're gonna leave out the rest and it's all gonna work out. No, everything has to be number one. So to learn about yourself, you have to do those things. Number one, wake up. Number one, this and that. Number one, do your studies. Number one, listen to Dragon's Lair. We go every morning at 10 a.m. We show up, a mastermind, and we show up. So number one, we do that. Number one, there's another gathering at 7 p.m. Number one, you have a lockdown, and that's where you do your studies. Number one, you have a schedule. Number one, you watch what you eat. Number one, it pretty much everything. And it could go through, you could put that on everything. Hey, there's a commercial already, man. I put that shit on everything. Tabasco sauce, that's funny. Anyways, so another great example, you could put that in, we have Lone Wolf here at the gym. Hey, Mr. Lone Wolf, what's the number one thing you do at the gym that I could do, and blah, blah, blah. It's the same shit. The answer he would, let's say he would give. Number one, you have to hit the weights. Obviously, number one, you have to do certain reps. Number one, you have to take your protein. You have to watch what you eat. Number one, you have to, so pretty much even at the gym, you have to, everything is together. There's not one set thing that you're going to do at the gym that's going to work. Number one, you have to fast. Number one, you have to do this. It's in everything. So let me give another example. Let me see. What's the one thing that works in a relationship? Number one, you have to work on yourself. Number one, you have to do this. Number one, you have to look, every relationship's different. So however, that's one of the things that really resonated with me when I read that book. Like, you can't put one set thing and think you're gonna fucking win. It doesn't work that way. Got another brother coming in right here. So let's see, what's another thing that I've learned? Hey, you wake up in the morning, that's number one. Everything's number one. You have to put yourself as number one. Hey, I'm gonna open this water. What's the number one thing you have to think about before you open this water? I'm just giving you some examples and shit. Oh no, the first thing you have to do is twist it off a certain way. No. Everything. So if you don't do one thing, then you won't be able to open this bottle. So everything has to be number one. And Tim Grover gave many examples on his book. I really enjoyed it when he was talking about the wake up. He was speaking on the wake up. What's the number one thing you do when you wake up? What's the number one thing you do? And he pretty much named them all. Oh, let's say you have 10 things. And he said number one, until he got to number 10. So pretty much everything has to be number one in order for it to work. And he gave an example. What's they asked him in the book, what's the one thing that you look for when you wake up in the morning? He says, the first thing I see 10 different types of emotion with their hand extended out to shake my hand. Now it's up to me which one it's going to be, or whatever. It could be sad, it could be glad, it could be angry, it could be sleepy, it could be all types of emotion. It just depends which emotion is going to show up that day. And I just put my hand out and I grab them and I go and I say, let's go. And whatever emotion it is, you go do it. And yeah, that's one of the examples. Let me see what other examples. How did I find my expression? Was number one. Let's go again. Number one, cold shower, all that. Number one, I've read books like Tim Grover, that number one, Untethered Soul, number one, the Surrender Experiment, number one, Eckhart Tolle, the Power of Now, number one was another one. All these books, like everything has to be number one in order for this shit to work, pretty much. Number one, you put incense, number one, like everything has to be number one. And that's one of the things I learned reading Tim S. Grover's book. And this is a guy that was the coach to Michael Jordan. So it really hits. It really hits. You know what I mean? So let's see another example. Yeah, let's take driving for example. You're teaching someone how to drive, and then you begin to tell them the steps. Oh, number one, you do this. Number two, number three, no. Number one, you keep an eye on the road. Number one, you look at the mirrors. Number one, you hands are on the steering wheel. Number one, you don't get emotional. Number one, so everything you do in life has to work that way. It has to be number one. So let's see. Let's keep talking about relationships. What's the one thing that works on a relationship? Hey, number one, you got to work on yourself, man. You got to work on yourself. That's you're number one there. And number one, you got to have patience. Number one, you got to learn how to deal with emotional situations and not react to them. And that's one of the things here in IMC Nation that we are really good at. We work on our emotional status every single day. You know, there's many situations that happen throughout the day. You could go, let's see, you could be talking to someone, they could say the wrong thing that hits you the wrong way. You know, how do you deal with it? Well, this is all IMC Nation teachings. Number one, you let that emotion process. let's say you feel anger. I learned this from AZD. Let's say that emotion of anger hits you, boom. So the first thing you do, the first thing you do is open the door. Hey, anger, how you doing? Come on in. And then you go, number one. What do you, number one you do is have the emotion sit down and feel that emotion. Number one. Now, how are you going to let that emotion process? Number one, the number one thing you do is you let it process. There's many ways to do that. You could like Lone Wolf, hit the gym real hard. You could go for a run. You could maybe go in your car and yell really, really loud. That way, that emotion could express itself in there, and then nobody's gonna think you're crazy for yelling in your own car. You know what I mean? Because that energy has to process, and the way it processes is in many different ways. Let's say you hold that anger in. Shit, you start getting rashes in your body, or you go home and you get triggered by a simple thing, and then you're gonna go off on that person. It could be your dog, it could be different types of things, you know. So yeah, let me see. So as I was telling you guys, YouTube world, the biggest thing I took away from that book is everything has to be number one. Let's say you go to an interview. What's the number thing you look for? Hey, you look sharp. You look alive. Also, number one, you got to look this. So pretty much everything, you have to put everything together and make it happen. Man, there's so many examples. My brain's going like 100 miles an hour. So I gotta, number one, relax. So yeah, let me see. You could even do it in business. I'm not a businessman or anything. However, we have a lot of businessmen here in IMC Nation. We got Oracle. He might change his name to Kingpin. Oracle. We got Powerhouse. We got Chris Lopez. Obviously AZD. We got Yogi Chris. We got all those guys that are great in business. And I'm sure if you ask them, what's the number one thing in business that you do? They'll pretty much say there's not one thing. So pretty much everything is number one. You got to put all those things together and make it happen. You know what I mean? Let me give another example. Yeah, what's the number one thing you do in a relationship? Well, there's so many of them. Does anybody have any questions right here while I'm pondering? No questions. All right, let's go to the book right here, Science of Attraction. We always have. Oh, what's the number one thing in nature that you could do? You could start off with this book, Shane Smith, Science of Attraction. You could get it on Amazon. Let's see. Nature's Exam, Constant Approaching Nature's System, Temporary Effect. As a man, your looks may get you the girl, but they will certainly not keep her around. There we go. Guys, all you guys that you be doing your eyebrows and shit and all that, looking all prettier than the girl. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. Shit, whatever floats your boat. However, that's not gonna help you keep the girl. What's gonna help you keep the girl? Shit. Join Dragon's Lair and begin that whole endless process, which everything has to be number one, work on yourself. Number one, this, you got to have a wake up. Everything has to, your looks will get the girl. It won't keep her. And same with you, ladies. Your looks may get the guy. However, you won't keep the guy. Your looks won't keep you. Your looks are gonna fade away. So what are you gonna offer to your man after those looks go away? You know what I mean? So the looks will help you get the girl, but they won't help you keep the girl. Let me see what's another thing. There's so many here, dude. Don't ever hand them over. What is it? She'll friend zone you. A nice, caring guy like you, then turn around and sleep with the douchebag. because you never handed her the first thing you easily gave up, your balls. Hey, YouTube land, guys, never hand your balls to a woman. Those balls are yours. You were born with them. How do you keep your balls? Number one, you don't give them away. Number one, blah, blah. I'm not gonna keep saying number one, but everything's number one pretty much. Never hand out your balls to a woman. Keep your balls. The moment you hang out, the moment you send your balls to a woman, man, she'll freaking juggle them. She'll do whatever, and they'll be gone. So let's see. We got a couple more minutes. I'm all over the place, guys. I'm still. Let me see. The moment a woman knows she can break you emotionally as a man, her attraction and respect for you evaporates. If you're a man and you emotionally break in front of a woman, she'll lose attraction for you. If and you know, there's guys out there that say, "Oh, I want my woman to be emotionally strong. I want this and that. I want her to lead. I want her to do this. I want her to do that." It's the wrong path, man. Has it worked for you, my brother? I don't think that has worked for you. You got to be emotionally strong for your whole family, for your people, man. Why don't you want to be emotionally strong for your people? Protect your people. You emotionally strong for. I mean, if your woman's emotionally strong, well, and stronger, more emotionally strong than you, well, she's gonna be gone. She's gonna be gone with that. So, my brothers, how do you get emotionally strong? Join Dragon's Lair. Join IMC Nation. There's we do meditation. That's another thing that we do that has really helped the process out. You know, all your celebrities and everything, all your people, the celebrities, they all meditate, they all do certain things. However, they use it for evil. We don't use it for evil, we use it for goodness. Our goodness is gonna always shine brighter than the negative. So yeah, let me see how many more minutes we got. We got 23 minutes. Yeah, so let me see. Let me keep reading from the book here. Anytime a woman receives hate or criticism from another woman for being beautiful, it's because she is seen as a threat. Oh, that's cool. Ladies, if they're hating on you because you're beautiful, you're a threat to that. You're a threat to her man or whoever. So and that's one of the things I see why a lot of women are not even taking care of themselves no more. They look all messed up, you know. However, if you take care of yourself as a woman, as a lady, and you're a lady, you're gonna attract the attention. You know, the correct attention. You know, if you act like a hoe and do all these things, then you're gonna attract those type of guys. And if you're a lady and you conduct yourself as a lady and you push off the people that you don't want to talk to, just let it be known, hey, I don't want to fucking talk to you. Then eventually they have to respect that. And obviously, if they don't, then you got to have a man to protect you from that. So I get why women out there have their angry face or whatever. They don't want to be talked to because they have so many creepy ass vatos talking to them. You know, so there's that. So one of the expressions I really enjoy is learning how to be relaxed. Like right now, I'm working on that, how to be relaxed on situations where, let's say, I have nothing to say. Like right now, I'm having trouble. Not trouble. There's situations like, oh, what do I say? What do I say? So I got to learn how to relax and just let it be. Like, hey, fuck it. If oh, look at him, he's not able to talk or this and that. YouTube, like, why don't you try it, man? Let me see your expression. What's your expression, man? Is your expression genuine? What is your expression about? I could see when you speak, you could look at my eyes and you could look at other people's eyes. Your eyes tell 1,000 stories of who you are. My eyes right now, yeah, I'm looking here. Like if you looking here, I'm in my head. I'm trying to. There's many things, and that's being aware of myself, of my essence, and like I said, it's all in the process. You do the process, you're gonna be aware of your quote unquote weaknesses and learn from them. So right now, I'm watching myself going through these situations, and I'm learning. Okay, I'm watching myself from a other perspective from my third eye, and I'm looking at myself. Oh shit, you're looking at this and that, and then in turn, I'm going to learn, and the next time I'm going to get better. And that's how you get better in pretty much anything. You look at yourself, be all right with the mistakes you're going to make, and get better. Learn from them. I mean, you got to learn from them. If you don't learn from them, then it ain't going to work out, man. And you got to swallow your pride sometimes on certain mistakes that you make, and keep moving forward. So yeah, let me drink some water here. Does anybody else have questions here? I got about 5 more minutes before I end this, and we're gonna go on. Like I said, on Dragon's Lair is at 10 in the morning right now. We're a mastermind group of IMC Nation brothers is gonna go in there and trade some ideas, and it's gonna be about 2 hours, and you get to interact with our the founder of IMC Nation, our mentor AZD, and you could just learn a lot just by watching him. You could even see him speak, and then you see me speak, and you see all how what of a high level speaker he is. You know what I mean? And we strive to get better, to get to that point. However, it's going to take time. See, number one, it's going to take time. It's going to take, number one, hard work. It's going to take, number one, all these elements that it's going to take in order for you to get there. So there's many things, and anybody could join. YouTube land. All you guys could join. Any of you could join, and you could hit me up. You could hit up any of the IMC Nation brothers, and they will guide you through the way in going there. All right. So, is there any questions before I end this? Hey, thank you, my brothers, for showing up. Marcelo, Lone Wolf, and a couple of, what was it? I forgot the other guy's name. You know, thank you guys for showing up, and it's very inspiring to see strong men always, all the time, being here. So here we go. IMC Nation. Let's do it. Thank you all for joining.